Well, hello. It's M&V. Brought Charlie today. Left Max for home today because it's going to be a bigger hike. We're doing the canal loop, and we are currently, I want to say, okay, we're right here. And this one, we're just going to do this middle trail. I think it's about 5.5 miles. So we'll go around, take the yellow trail back through, come through these little ridges here on the way back. So it should be fun. All right. It's a beautiful spring day. Got quite a bit in green. Family in tow. I think for the most part the trail is supposed to be fairly easy. We've only done this one once. I think that's right. We've only done this trail just one time, right?
Yeah.
I kind of struggled, I think, on the end of it. There's a lot of hills at the end of this one, on this particular loop that we do. You know, it's been over a year since we came out here. This was full of water. Yeah, and this was actually full of water. It's just a trickle now. It's real beautiful out here today. Some old foundation to I guess a home that used to live here. There's another one up there. This whole area used to be a community many years ago, before they flooded the area to create Kentucky Lake. So when you're out here on some of these trails, or if you're off-roading to some of the areas, you'll come across some of the old foundations of the prior homes. It's pretty cool. Looks like there's I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's another one over there. Here's the other piece of it. Guessing maybe it used to be someone's home. Old radiator in there, just people throwing their garbage. Go figure. Looks like someone came here and had a campfire. Threw their garbage inside one of those buildings because there's an old radiator, vehicle radiator in it. Mr. Charlie. Charlie, you want to smile for the camera?
Charlie. Good boy.
He's like, nah, he hears the boats at the lake. He's distracted. Alright. This road to our left, I don't remember the road number right offhand. 301 maybe, but it's got some dispersed camping that this hiking trail meets up with. We've taken the Jeep down it. There's already a video on our channel where we took that road. It's pretty easy until you get to the backside. Then there was, unless they fixed it between then and now, there was some pretty deep ruts, and Jeep was able to handle it. But if you come in a car or something that's pretty low to the ground, you might get into a sticky situation. We'll be able to show more once we get to it, because you can see we're getting closer to the water, because there's a pretty dispersed camping spot down there. Alright, we're coming up on it. No one's down here, so dispersed camping is good. And it looks like they have cleaned the road. So, because before, this was a good 2 feet deep and over a foot wide, going straight down the middle. But I don't remember exact time last year we drove down here to look at dispersed camping. But at that time we couldn't do it because someone else was already down here. But, and I'm pretty sure that road is 301. You know what? Let me grab my phone. I should have signal here. I don't want to give the wrong road name. Hang on. Okay, yes, I was right. This is Forest Road 301. It does a complete loop, and then there's a cemetery at the beginning of it. And this whole backside is a little more rockier than the smooth gravel in the front. But it looks like any truck or anything can come down here, no problem. And then for camping, you can easily fit 2 or 3 sites here. Sweetheart, when we go camping in the middle of the week, we might get a permit and we'll come down here and camp.
Awesome.
Because if it being during a weekday, there's a good chance no one will be down here.
I love that already.
And we won't have any problems with Charlie.
That's when we're supposed to go camping, in the middle of the week.
Yep. We can set a tent right there. That'll be a perfect spot.
Yep. Look at these beautiful flowers. What is that?
I'm not exactly sure what kind they are. If anybody knows what those kind of flowers are, just comment in the comment section. I'm not too Too good with that type of stuff, unfortunately. Love the outdoors, but knowing the names of all the trees and all the flowers and plants, I have no idea. But they are pretty. Oh. I want to make some pictures. Alright, so we Googled while we were down here. Those flowers are called butterweed, or also known as golden ragwort. Interesting name. Doesn't really have much of a smell. To me, they favored that of a daisy, only yellow. But they're pretty being on the lake shore. But now back to hiking, because our trail continues right there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. There's a boat that looks like they just ran aground right on that little island. Got themselves in a pickle. Got two kayakers out there checking it out. Here we go, that's a better, if the camera's picking it up, probably a better view of it. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, onward bound. Another pretty little cove area. Up. Alright, continuing onward. Charlie hasn't quite adapted to being around people yet. So we're having, every time we come across someone, we have to just grab him and hold him. Because for a lab, he gets, for whatever reason, he acts a little ferocious. And then turns back into a cuddly, cutie little baby pup when they leave. This little area is pretty. Alright, we should be getting close to the golden marker. Yep, actually this is the golden marker, okay. Sadly, that's all dried out. Yep, connector C.
Look at our brave dog. He's not scared
Of the bridge anymore. Yeah. If you go that way, that'll continue on and take you to the northern part of the loop. Because I think the whole thing in total is 12 miles. We're taking connector C, cut across halfway, and then loop back around. So we should have done a little over 2 miles by now. Not bad.
We didn't get tired at all.
No, we're doing good. This sea trail comes across the road, and we're back at the sign for the welcome station. And trail continues this way. So we've been about 2 1/4 of a mile. This way should be another 2 1/4, maybe 2 1/2. We'll see. But it's been a beautiful day. Hoping all these images is coming out well on the phone. Not the phone, on this camera. All right. I believe this road here is the exit. It's the exit road to the scenic driving loop that they have over here. That's about maybe 2 miles, 2-3 miles. You just drive the loop close to the lake's edge. Unfortunately, you don't get many views of the lake this time of year, especially during the summer, because It's all grown up with the trees and the shrubs and all. Fall time is real pretty. This has been a wonderful hike today. It's very pretty. Enjoying the spring weather. Actually, now I'm confused. I think we go to the left towards the water. Yes, okay, I know where we're at. That scenic trail that I was telling you about. Parking is right up there.
Okay.
Yeah, now I remember. That road that's over there, we've been on it once. That's just a driving scenic road.
Uh-huh.
You got parking there where you can park, come down here and hike. That's what we did that day because we came here with Max and then came up towards the water.
Okay.
It was cold when we did it though.
Oh, for us no different.
Yeah,
Hot or cold.
that was a few years ago, a couple of years ago.
Maybe it was last year.
Nah, 2024.
Okay.
All right, this is the back side of that trail that tends to kick my butt because it's constantly up and down these ridges. Good exercise though. It's real pretty out here too. All right. As I was saying, the trail up and down, up and down. But yeah, the trail is a blue trail. All the connecting trails that runs in the middle are yellow. So we take C, and then I think it's D that goes back to the welcome center where we parked.
I don't want to go back. I want to keep walking.
Well, I mean, we still got a ways to go before we even get there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're nowhere near finished.
Just start
We're just halfway. We're at the halfway point.
Look at my Charlie. He's full of energy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, we're at the top of this one ridge. Should be able to get hopefully a decent view of the lake from here. Hold up. All right. It's pretty from up here.
What did you say, Siri?
I said it's pretty from up here.
Very.
Wish we had a little clear ledge up here,
Uh-huh.
but this is all good. Very pretty. All right, now we're at the second ridge. tell you, using a trekking pole as a walking stick definitely helps. Now we're back over that little area there. Yeah, this one keeps going and going, it feels like. It just loops and loops and loops. All right, we're finally at the top of the second ridge line. And really good views from up here too. I like it. Still got a little bit of grade to go, but we're about at the top. But this water view is magnificent. All right, we're now finally at the top of the second ridge. And you can see way down there, someone down there fishing on their little bass boat. It's a beautiful day to be out there fishing, actually. But I'm loving the views from up here. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say on the video. This part of the trail gets a little rough because of all these rocks. Some of the roots. It's a good spot.
Look at this bird. Look.
Yep. Hawk.
Uh-huh.
That was perfect timing. Well, I might take the camera out and take a picture from here too.
Absolutely.
But if you're hiking here or biking, you just have to be careful with these rocks. It's very loose, easy to fall. Alright, we've reached the end of the second ridge line. Now it's gradually taking us down. And it looks like the trail continues winding, comes around, and it looks like it loops that way, going back up the third ridge line. Sorry, I almost lost my step. I have to pay attention. There's a lot of rocks and loose leaves and debris. As I say, this one's a really good workout. Because I can't remember if the third one's the last one or if there's more. Because we've only hiked this one once. Yeah, it looks like another dispersed campsite. We'll check that out in a minute. This makes for a pretty view. So hang. Alright, so this one is I don't know if the camera's picking that up, it says Allen Brown. So this is the Allen Brown campsite. This would be a good spot for some pictures too. Garbage. That's pretty cool. They made a fish trap. I said they made a fish trap. Whoever was here last.
Yeah.
I think someone's been watching our favorite show. They made a homemade fish trap. I love it. Favorite show as a call out to Naked and Afraid. Watching them make their basket woven or vine woven fish traps. Lost my footing there. Yeah, this area is quite nice. There we go. Didn't realize the lens was kind of dirty, so I'm hoping this now comes out a little cleaner. Check the footage when we get home. Real pretty out here. All right, we're now heading back out. But this was the homemade fishing basket someone made here. Really cool. All right, we're back on the trail, and now we're heading up the third ridge line here. And eating bugs along the way. Ugh. Yep. All right, we're finally done with the ridges. That last one was a doozy in a way because it was like a roller coaster. It was up, down, up, down, up, down. But we're done. Now we're on section D, which is a gold trail, and that takes us back to the not nature center, woodland center, I think is what it's called. Or it's the first service station you come to when you enter Park Station on the north side. But we've already done 5 miles, so I'm not exactly sure how long this trail is, so we'll see once we make it back to the truck. Go from there. Well, we are nearly at the end. So once we get back to the truck, we'll tally up how many miles this actually turned out to be. But it was a beautiful hike. We survived it. Really enjoyed it. All right, it's M&V. We've tallied this up. It took us a little longer, but it was 5.82 miles. So, it's not too bad. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and we'll catch you again another time. Thanks for watching.